Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Welcome to the season finale of SRL Project Cars 2, this Asia Pacific Championship season number 3. And after 10 grueling rounds, it all comes down to 24 laps here at the famous Mount Panorama circuit in Bathurst. And let me tell you, it's been another successful season, if I don't say so myself, for this championship. And unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. We're finishing in everybody's favourite circuit. And championship is already wrapped up, but every single driver wants to win at this track. So expect a titanic battle. And it is also the first time we tackle this track with damage on too. And as everybody out there knows, those walls can be unforgiving. Qualifying tonight will be contested in typical Bathurst style. A reverse championship shootout, meaning the grid could have quite a shake-up with the drivers only getting one lap. So it very much is win it or bin it tonight. A big thank you just right off the top of the show tonight. Big thanks to everybody who has raced and watched the streams. Also, a big thanks to all of the Tier 2 guys as well. And with Ned, our first Tier 2 champion, of course, as well. And a big thank you to everyone joining us currently on the live stream as well. Like I said, round 11, season finale tonight. Where has this championship gone as we count down and get ready to go racing tonight? And here we go, 6.21 kilometres, 23 corners, famous corners, some of the most famous in not only Australian motorsport, but in international motorsport as well. Conrod Straight, Murray's Corner, you can see on your screen, Hell Corner, the Dipper, and Forest Elbow, the Chase. So many famous names, famous races here as well. And who will be the king of the mountain this evening as we get ready to go racing. So like we said, a bit of a different qualifying session for tonight. Track temperature of 55 degrees, ambient temperature of 30 degrees as I welcome my co-commentator for the first time tonight and the last time this season, Rob Pearson. Rob Dog, welcome again, mate. It's been an eventful season, but we've enjoyed every minute of it, mate. Good evening to you.
Yeah, how you going, Trev? It's been a good season so far. Lots of ups and downs. It's almost really sad to end it tonight, but we're ending it with a big bang, and that's going to be Bathurst. And what a circuit they ended up off with, Trev. Close corners, really hard corners. You got stuff like Skyline, which is just unfathomable in any other car. You wouldn't want to do it in a Formula 1 car, that's for sure. And yeah, we're starting off with a shootout qualifying session tonight, and it's going to be an absolute ripper. As you said, it's reverse order. We've got Ned from Tier 2, Tier 2 champion tonight in our Tier 1 league. He'll be going around, and he's the first one on circuit. Since he doesn't have any points in Tier 1, he's the first one on circuit, and he won the championship at a Porsche, and he's decided to keep with the Porsche at Mount Panorama, and you can see there he's just warming up those brakes. Really hard to get temperature into the tyres and brakes on an outlap, and especially when you've got one lap to do it, you're really trying to hammer them as hard as you can. Outlap around here, when you're doing a shootout qualifying session, is very much like a kind of a race lap in a way. You're just trying to go as hard as you can just to get that temperature in the tyres and scrub them. Not too much, you don't want to wear them out too early on, but yeah, it's looking like a really exciting race tonight, Trev.
Sure is. Here comes Ned, 83, our Tier 2 champion. Of course, Rob dominated Tier 2, winning most of the races And like we've said throughout the course of this season, if you do well in Tier 2, you can step up to Tier 1. And you mentioned he's sticking with the Porsche, making it 4 manufacturers tonight in this race. So another interesting statistic there for tonight as we see Ned try and climb the mountain, now going down again. And just a little bit of a lag there on my screen at least. But anyway, never mind about that as here he comes. It's been a pretty clean lap so far. Might try and get that speedo up on the screen too to see exactly what he's doing in that Porsche. But now he comes onto Conrod Straight now, down the hill. He's gone through Forest Elbow, now approaching the chase. And I'm getting, I'll tell you what, I'm on pole position for this lap, I reckon, Rob. I've just got too excited there. He's only on his warm-up lap, this man.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you doing, Trevor? He's only on a warm-up lap. We'll get into it in the next maybe 30 seconds. He's still trying to get some temperature into the car. It's very interesting though that he actually didn't hammer it out of Forest Elbow. Usually you hammer it out of there, get as much speed as you can down Conrod, and just hammer the brakes into the chase. So it's an interesting strategy he's gone for here. Let's see if it works out for him.
All right, so I've just gone a little bit too early, but now here he comes into Murray's corner, about to start his hot lap now. I tell you what, I've used up all the information I had on Net 83, but anyway, here comes our man across the start-finish straight and into his qualifying lap. And 5th gear down into 2nd as he goes through Hell Corner, now heading up Mountain Straight. As our next man coming out there as well in the background, I think that might have been Nemo, and we're actually running on time tonight for once. 8:01 it says here. Geez, we're down to the minutes, Rob, and we're just working beautifully tonight. Of course, another famous part of Ned's season is, I tend to call him Ned Flanders, and oh geez, he was on the ragged edge there through that corner as he climbs the hill through the cutting now. Turns 4, 5, 6, 7 as he climbs the mountain. Like we said, which driver will be the king of the mountain tonight? Damage on as well, like we said. So those walls are very, very close indeed, and just getting through there nicely. Oh, and as soon as I say that, Rob, commentator's curse again.
Yeah, commentator's curse again, but it's so hard to nail one lap around here. It's so hard, and you can see the commitment just over Skyline there. The car just getting a little bit airborne coming down through the cutting here. Sorry, I've lost where I am. Anyway, we're going down to the Forest Elbow now, and he's looking for a good braking zone. He's just locked up the front left there, getting into the corner, right up to the wall, really committed. That's good pace. So he might have actually brought some time back from his little mistake just earlier on in the lap, coming down Conrod Straight, and he's thinking about getting to that left-hand side. Just you've got a little apron there on the left-hand side. You want to use that so you can open up the corner into the chase, and he's not used much of it into the chase there, and he's just on the brakes, bang it down the gears, bing bang bong into 2nd. And he's thinking about his approach to Murray's corner here. Very hard to get around there. You want to use as much circuit as you can. Usually want to get up on the ripple strip there into Murray's, down 3 gears in the 2nd. Very good, very stable in the last part of the lap there. And he comes across the line. We're going to see what his time is.
Here he comes across the line.
2:01.7.
At 2:01.7, I believe it was, as now we take a look at Nemo starting his hot lap. Oh, gee whiz, look at the comments on the live stream. Cart Dude, or Andrew Wright, actually saying the king of the mountain is here. He's feeling pretty confident tonight. And Cart Dude, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? 2 words. Oakley dokley. And there you go, Cart Dude. Great to have your company here tonight. Very exciting. Wow, we've got a new subscriber too to the Kid Buyers channel. That reminds me, don't forget 2 subscribers. Nemo there. Damage is on. Somebody please tell Nemo that, because he hasn't even started his hot lap. Rob, now he's around. Not a good start for Nemo. He's stranded at the top of the hill.
He's stranded, and yeah, he's just gone back to the pit lane there, so he's pretty much scrubbed his lap. So whoever ends up having a couple little bingles or mistakes on their lap will end up surpassing Nemo there. And you can see the Corvettes seem to be not the most comfortable around here tonight, Trev.
Certainly not. They look a little bit twitchy on the rear end. Some circuits they've had pretty good straight line speed, but different tracks require different car characteristics, of course. Also, special mention to Nemo, whose birthday it is tomorrow. So happy birthday, Nemo. Nemo, it's your birthday. But you wouldn't think so, would you, given that that lap of his? He was straight back in the pit lane, and he won't be setting a super quick time here tonight. But what about this man? My man, Mickey, you're so fine. His best race, of course, being at Long Beach race number 2, an 8th place, Rob, for him on that particular occasion, but 15th in the championship. We've called his name a few times, but he'll be one that'll be looking to improve on his results next season and climb up the order.
Yeah, he's done some good results. I think he's on a controller too. So he, Bubbles, and Womp all on the controller there, and I mean, they have their work cut out for him tonight. Bubbles is looking very good. I mean, I did a little bit of practice with him a while back, and he's very confident around here, as he should be. Any motorsport fan, Australian motorsport fan of at all, would be pretty confident around here to know where they're going. But Mickey SR is coming up to Hell's Corner to start his lap off, and you can see he's just got a little bit deep off the apex, so he's just gone through, and he hasn't used the apron on the outside there, so he's already lost a bit of time there, maybe about 5/10, so that's a bit unfortunate there, but he's got to be really super committed now to make up any time.
Sure does. Bathurst is the venue, like we've mentioned, as everyone would know or should know. This famous circuit here tonight, 200 kilometres west of Sydney. This circuit hosting races way back to the 1900s, officially being opened back in 1938. Host of the famous Bathurst 1000, the 12-hour, which we saw not too long ago, the 6 hours, of course, and former host of the Australian Grand Prix way back at a point in time. 6.2 kilometres, 23 corners, a race lap record set by Shane Van Gisbergen of a 201.5 as Mickey gets a little bit too familiar with that wall coming across the top of the mountain there. And it must be around, is it Skyline, Rob, or the Dipper? They seem to they get awfully close to that wall right at the top of the hill there.
Yeah, they get really, really close, and that's how you set up a super competitive lap. Is you got to be overly committed to getting a lap done. And I mean, you saw that a few years back with Chaz Moster on these shootout laps, just super committed, and ended up breaking both of his legs. So wasn't a great time for him, but that's what it takes to get a good time through him. You can see now Mickey SR just going down Conrod Straight, looking to try and get a good entry, and it's just really twitchy with the controller there, very uncomfortable into the braking zone, and he's brought that up really nicely, really good on the apex there, so he's looking very comfortable through this section of the circuit here, but probably maybe a 2:07. I think this lap wasn't the greatest lap from him, but he's still going to be ahead of Nemo at this point.
Not looking too bad for Mickey then in that case as he comes across the line. Whereabouts is he going to be on the grid? I can't seem to see those times in the top left-hand corner of my screen at the moment, Rob, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Could be a slight technical glitch. Oh, hello. We're back online. And as Womp comes out now, a quick mention for the weather. Light cloud for both quali and the race. The tyres, soft tyres, okay for one lap, but most will be running hard tyres, as they might feel that that's the better option. As we take a look now at our official SRL cameraman, Womp, 83, as he comes around the final corner to start his lap now. And here he comes, across the line, ready to go here. Heading into turn one, his best race in his eyes, Oschenleben 10th. He fancied himself in Oschersleben in Germany, but he did get an 8th place as well, Rob, at Long Beach in race 1. Also 15th in the championship. His best battle was with his teammate nearly every race. I know we don't give these boys the airtime they deserve, but also the world's best racing photographer and graphic designer. I reckon Womp might have written some of this up as well, Rob, but he did all the graphics for the league, all of it, you name it, and fantastic, just generally a nice guy. And, well, that is our man Womp in a nutshell.
Yeah, he's a super really nice guy. You talk to him and he's very funny and got a lot of charisma to him, and you can see he's actually being pretty committed with the pad there, and he's actually getting the rear end out there going through up towards McPhillamy Park, and that's just super committed. And he's just on the curbing there, and he just didn't want to settle as nicely as he wanted to. There you can see the rear end stepping out, coming down Skyline. Oh, the car was already rotated before he got to the crest, and he's just hit the tyre barrier there. A little bit of unfortunate luck there, but it's all right. Coming down, and we're going towards Forest Elbow now. And he's just, that might have just rattled him a bit. It's so hard on a shootout lap to be 100% committed. I know it's a weird thing to say, but when you're 100% committed, it's just a special thing around here, and it's so hard to do it. But he's doing a really good job on the pad at the moment. Probably going to be around about the same pace as his teammate with a 209.7. And that's not a bad thing. These boys can probably make up some places if they keep their noses clean and free during the race. We've got a long race tonight, so me and Trev, we don't get paid for this, Trev. I think we should probably start getting paid. I think we should form a union.
Well, 3,234 watch hours and about 150 odd subscribers, and we might start getting paid, as Womp just has a bit of a vendetta against the Monster Energy signs at the final corner there, Murray's corner. But anyway, he's back into the pit lane, electing, I don't think he completed that lap, but anyway, here comes Andy Holden. And wow, this man, best race at Monaco in race 1, 7th place, 13th in the championship. As he gets ready to start his lap, his best race, in his opinion, was Algarve, where he had a good battle with Cart Dude. But as you may remember, Rob, and for everybody watching at home, he unfortunately spun and damaged his car in that particular race in Portugal. But like we said, this man currently sitting on 14 points in the Drivers' Championship. Anything possible. You mentioned it is an absolute marathon. And Wilco there just piping in with his two bobs worth, saying Womp and the Monster Energy signs resuming their battle from Season 1. He did, didn't he? Womp never really liking those signs at the final corner. But enough about that. Let's have a look at Andy Holden V8. And here he comes across the mountain. The trick is to not get too flustered by the one-shot qualifying. Don't panic. And all that wall. Somebody send one of the marshals out there with a paint can, because it's been hit a few times so far this session. But he's absolutely on it, Rob, isn't he?
Yeah, he's absolutely on it. You can see probably this car's not really set up for the mountain part here. It doesn't seem like it has enough downforce. You can see usually when cars have a lot of downforce, so you can actually go through that little sector there with full throttle. So you can see he was just lifting off the throttle there with a little tachometer there and going down Forest Elbow. And very good exit for Andy Holden here. This could be a good lap for him, and with a straight line. Actually, the Ferrari's no slouch in the straight line. So if he's running a little bit less downforce, I think he might be getting around about 270 at the end of this straight, so this could be a good lap for him.
It sure could be, as he comes down, heading towards the chase in the end of this lap. That Ferrari looking very handy around Mount Panorama here tonight. And those times all over the place, a bit like me on a Monday morning. But that's a story for another day, as Andy comes towards the last corner now. It's been a fairly clean lap. Don't think he's going to set the world on fire, but as he comes across the start-finish line, is it going to be good enough to beat Ned with a 201.7? No, not quite, but he does go into P2 with a 203.2, Rob.
Yeah, that was a super committed lap, and that's actually a really good result. Shootout qualifying's not easy, so anybody can make a mistake. Any of the top guys can make a mistake. So if he's second, he could be maybe starting fifth at the end of this qualifying session. So that's great for him. So we've got Righty here. I think he's just on his warm-up lap. And Righty, my teammate from Season 1, both racing the BMW GT3 car, great car, the best car. If you want to buy a BMW, buy it from me. I know everything about it. But yeah, he's a very, very good racer, Righty here, and he's very committed. He can just pull little tents here and there of a car where it really can't really get this pace out of it. And actually, I think this might be the first run of the Fords, and from what we've seen from practice, the Fords are looking super duper quick in qualifying spec, and that's actually quite rare from this season, because it's been the Corvettes all the way through qualifying this year.
Certainly has Righty 10th in the standings. Best finishes 4th, twice in fact at Imola and Sakito. He absolutely loves Bathurst, does this man, and well, he was the first person to comment on our stream saying the king of the mountain is here. Boy, no pressure on you, Righty, as you start your qualifying lap. So we mentioned the soft tyres, okay for one lap, but most of the drivers will be running hard tyres. Interesting questions tonight, Rob. Do the drivers go for low drag to be quick on the straights or high downforce to be quick and consistent at the top of the hill? We might put that question to our viewers as we see Righty start his hot lap. Do they run high or low downforce here tonight?
It's really a question of their driving style. Personally, me, I like a really grippy car, so majority of the time I have very high downforce going through here, and I feel like you could probably make more time through the top of the mountain there. Lots of downforce, lots of grip, lots of full throttle action, and if you're committed enough you can get a good time out of it. But you'll see guys like probably Full On Rocks, Cart Dude and Truss and even old mate Jason Wilkinson, they'll probably be going for the sort of medium downforce setup just to get a nice balance overall and get some straight line speed down Conrod Straight. But it's one of those circuits that you got to really set up to your specifications, and if you don't have the right car that you enjoy, just without a setup on it, it can be a bit of a struggle to get a time around here with a setup. So as you can see, probably I would think Righty might actually have a medium to high downforce setup through here. You can see he's very, the car's not overly twitchy going through the very fast corners through here, so you can probably tell that he's got a decent sort of downforce setup, and we'll probably end up knowing that for sure at the end of the straight if he gets to around about 270. I think 270 is where the low downforce guys are, and actually he's already up to 270, so just don't listen to me. He looks like he's got a pretty low downforce setup on his car tonight.
He is looking the goods. That is for sure. Expecting a pole time to be a low 2-minute flat, maybe a sneaky 1 minute 59, I should say, as Righty in the Ford now. Coming up to the last corner and out of the last corner onto the start-finish straight. Where will this time put him on the starting grid? It's only good enough for a 2 minutes 3 there, just a smidge behind Andy, but that puts him on the second row of the grid and in third place so far here tonight. The drivers, expect to see them. We'll keep an eye on that speedo too, because I reckon some of these drivers are going to be absolutely flat out from the cutting to skyline in these cars. As here he comes, the man, the myth, the legend, Dean McKinnon. And don't forget to keep your comments coming in. Tim Russell saying, thanks Kid Byers and Rob Dog for the commentary and the live feed. Awesome job, guys. And Nemo just confirming the question we asked a moment ago on the downforce. Nemo saying, yeah, I'm running low downforce tonight, and I'm pretty excited about that, hey? And here comes HSV now climbing the hill, starting the climb. He'll feel
that's
very...
decent entry in there. Very decent entry. On the apron there, that's very clean. That's going to be a good setup to the first sector, Trev.
It certainly is. You might say it's delicious. Thank you, Bruce. Absolutely delicious here tonight. But HSV now starting his run up the top of the hill on the ragged edge, the side of all 14 viewers now. Boy, they're coming in. Never mind about that. Just a slight touch on the wall then. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but here comes HSV. We're going to continue to follow his qualifying lap here at Mount Panorama. HSV, best race for him. Le Mans 5th and Imola 6th. He got 2 votes for his drive at Le Mans. And some pretty good battles, of course, with Murph, especially at Donington as he comes through so close to those walls onto Conrod Straight. Now look at the accelerator, 4th gear, up into 5th, right-hand corner of your screen for everybody watching at home. How good do these cars look here at Bathurst? 6th gear, up to 270 kilometres an hour, almost 280, 275. I'll meet you halfway as he comes round now to complete the final part of this lap through the chase, looking very good indeed. Up to Murray's Corner. Pick your braking point. The last of the late breakers here tonight.
Very late. He's so late on the brakes. He gets it in. That's going to be a good time there, Trev.
Time to get excited, Rob Dog. Here comes HSV across the line. What's it going to be?
Only fourth.
It's an anticlimax, I've got to say, and I know all about that. 2 minutes and 3.837, 2 seconds off Ned. So Ned Flanders still looking pretty good at the top of the order so far tonight. Big hello to all 15 people watching us. Righty says, terrible lap by myself. Stuffed up turn 1 and 2 quite badly, Righty said. The self-proclaimed king of the mountain. But it's a long race, Righty. Hang in there, son. And you've got a few mates with you who are going to stuff up here tonight. As Dane Williams, where do we begin with this man? Just an absolute superstar. As I try and find some information about him. Very harsh on himself, this man. Says he hasn't had a good race at all, even when he got a podium at Monaco in race 1, Rob. But also our unluckiest driver, according to 5 of the drivers. He's currently 8th in the standings. A former champion, of course, as well. Very harsh on himself, this man, but we love him, don't we?
Yeah, he's a good driver and usually very consistent. It's been a weird season for him, actually. It's just wiggling up to the fence there. That's as wild as you ever see. Quoting Mark Scaife there, but yeah, he's a very, very good driver, very good person. And I mean, it's just had a very, very unlucky season this year, and he just gets a little bit, that's a bit scary through the S's, but he gets through there, so that's okay. Coming up with the Forest elbow, so let's see where he chooses braking zone. Very wild through there into the middle of the circuit. That's not really where you want to be because it sets you up a little bit badly for the exit there, but he managed to save it. Very good through from the 8-man there. And actually, I do believe that temperature gauge is up to 122 degrees. He's running very, very low radiators there, trying to get that extra speed out of the car. 274, 277, up to 280, going to the chase, onto the anchors. Very committed. You could hear from the car there, right on the revs, trying to pull it up, and he just a bit of a rough one there to pull it up. He's actually coming into the pit lane, so he's given up on that lap, and that's unfortunate because I think even though if he got some time in there, even if it wasn't a very competitive time, could have put him up the field somewhere. But that's unfortunate for V8 man, and that's not what we want to see. But we've got Fubbles up next, our man L2 and R2 warming up his tyres, and he's looking very good around here, Trev.
L2, R2, triangle X, square, circle, he's working them all. As Big Steve McDonald saying, just in time for Fubbles, your man is here, ready for you now on this qualifying lap. And Jason Wilkinson saying a corner cut penalty. So I'm assuming that is for Dane. But here comes Fubbles. L2, R2, D2, left, right, up and down. He needs to work them all if he's going to get anywhere near that 201 set by Oakley Dokley. Ned with that 201.778. He's going to hate me by the end of the season for saying those Ned Flanders jokes. But here we come. Fubbles now. Steve-O, get ready, get excited. Put it in 720p HD because your man is starting his hot lap. And here he comes now up the hill. It is on like Donkey Kong at the moment, and Fubs, 2 third places this season, Le Mans and Indy Road, 7th in the standings, so not a bad season for him, but he'll be looking to get a good result here tonight, that's for sure. And once again, the back end, the Corvette looking twitchy yet again as we climb the mountain, and he comes up down into second gear. He starts the climb then. Quarry Corner, 7, 8, 9, Frog Hollow, all these famous corner names coming back to me as he climbs the hill. And is he going to miss that wall on the right-hand side? Yes, he does. And he climbs across the mountain there, but as soon as I say that, he's hit the wall, and that's put him into the gravel, and I reckon that is going to severely affect his lap, but he is pushing on here, Rob, so he might still be able to set a time if he can get around the rest of this final sector cleanly.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I mean, Bubbles is such a good racer, really a humble person. Can be a bit loud in the chat sometimes, I'll be honest, but he's very, very good, and he's a very, very good person. And one of the nicest people you ever meet, even though I rib him constantly in our leagues on the Friday nights. And actually, a little trivia, last week he actually picked up a win in the GDEs with our league last week. He managed to miss all the carnage. I ended up crashing out lap 5 with a retirement, but Fubbles very committed into the chase there. Really nice apex. Keeping it in third. Usually you'd probably want a short shift there into fourth. Just make sure all that torque isn't trying to take you out. Very late in the brakes here. Over the corner there. Might be a corner cut penalty. Yeah, lap time invalidated. That's unfortunate for Fubbles.
And what do you mean he's loud in the chat, Rob? Oh, I don't really know about that. No, that's I'm going to hell for that one. No, Steve, not what you wanted to see. I sounded like a cockatoo there, but anyway, so Fubbles there off to the side of the road, and Steve saying let him do another lap. Oh, I'd like to, but we're not that charitable here. We are running to schedule as the next car comes out on track. And Rob, I've been reliably informed that we've lost a few drivers, a few people just dropping out of the session, I think, but we seem to have maintained our numbers. Waffles has dropped out of the session, but he seems to be out on track now. I'm getting conflicting information here, Rob. I don't know who to believe at this stage.
Yeah, it feels like there might be a Russian submarine parked somewhere in the lake around here, but Waffles, very, very committed racer and one of the cleanest racers I've ever come across. Very funny dude, very nice dude, and you're going to see a wicked lap through here, I reckon, with that Ferrari. And if he doesn't get it wrong, and Waffles very rarely gets it wrong, just so ultra competitive and ultra just consistent, and picked up a race win at I think it was Spa with the first sighting of the Russian submarine. But yeah, he's on his outlap here. He's already touched the walls. That's not what you really want to do early on. Hopefully he doesn't have any front end damage there, but he should be okay. But he's just trying to get some temperature into those tyres and brakes. You can see that 51 just has a big scratch mark on it there.
So damage, of course, as well tonight. So, boy, aren't we going to see some carnage? We do each and every week. So, Waffles, 5th in the standings. I think I combined Waffles and Truss back in Spa and called them Truffles. But anyway, who knows? So, 5th in the standings, like I mentioned, was voted equal winner for most. Surprising finish with his win at Spa-Francorchamps a few weeks ago in Belgium. And just trying to get some heat into the tyres of that Ferrari. Like we said, Ferrari, 4 manufacturers tonight, with Ned as well in the Porsche, and Ford and Corvette. So 4 manufacturers here tackling this mountainous race tonight. Final round of the season, like we mentioned. Big thanks to everybody who's watched us right throughout the year. And 24 laps, 20 minutes remaining in this qualifying session before 24 laps between us and the end of Season 3. Mandatory pit stop as well tonight after this shootout qualifying session. And here comes Waffles now. And he comes across to start his hot lap. The winner in Spa, so he's got a race win under his belt so far this season. And he's got some other interesting results, a couple of other podiums early on in the year. And who knows, he's 18 points behind Truss in the Drivers' Championship. So who knows, if something happens to Truss, he could end the championship in 4th. And if he does get 2nd place or higher, in fact, no, Truss would take that spot in the championship with a 2nd place because he's already got a win as well. But anyway, I'm digressing as I so often do because Waffles begins the climb of the mountain. Just recapping, of course, I've only had 5 drivers set competitive lap times so far in this shootout qualifying session, with Ned on provisional pole with a 201.778. And he says, Ned is actually piped up and said, no hate, mate. No, you're a fan. And, I reckon tickets on himself there, Rob, and I reckon the tickets may have sold out. But anyway, here comes Waffles, under 20 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Already starting to lose my voice, and that's not a good sign. We've got plenty more live streaming to do, trust me, as he comes down Conrod straight now. 2:01.778 is the time that he needs to have in his mind as he goes up to 6th gear through 260 kilometres an hour here tonight as he comes up to the final part of this qualifying lap. Is he going to be able to get between Andy and Ned? Can he knock Ned off provisional pole position? So many questions I hear you're all asking at home as he comes up to the final corner in the Ferrari. Down to 2nd gear, powers out of that final corner. He's got a good exit off now towards the start-finish line. Here he comes across the line, and he's just set a 2:02.2. Plenty of twos there. I just think Richie Benno would be quite happy with that. But still 4/10 off, Rob Dog.
Yeah, he's I mean, actually, that's a very good lap. So even though that's put him in the second, he will be starting from a good position in the race. So it's not all over and done with. But we've got our man Truss, one of the quickest qualifiers that we have in the league. Stepped up after one race from Tier 2. And he's looking super, super quick tonight.
And boy, what a championship he has had. He just upset the apple cart in Long Beach, didn't he? He was straight on the pace, nice and early. A second, a third, and of course a win in Portugal at Algarve. And he has really, really deserved 4th place in the championship. Having said that, he's only 8 points behind our man, Jason Wilkinson. And I reckon Wilco will have his hands full trying to keep this man behind him in the Corvette. As we just look here and see what is he going to do on this lap. Best result, like we said, a first in Portugal. Voted the 2nd unluckiest driver by his peers. But he is absolutely on the ragged edge here now. Unless he's not on his warm-up lap. No, look at that. Look at the commitment there. Ever so close to those walls. And I tell you what, if I'm a betting man, and I'm not, it's going to be very close. I reckon Ned's time, Rob, is under threat at this stage.
Yeah, it's under threat. And he's looking super, super tidy and efficient through here. Up against the wall. Not as close as a lot of people, but that's still a very committed lap. And he's looking super quick here. And we'll see how quick the Corvette really is down a straight line here.
Here he comes down Conrod Straight. Very quick. It's been quick all season, that Corvette. Not just that Corvette. This man behind the driver's seat, in the driver's seat as well, Truss, 1984. Just one of, 4 different winners so far. In fact, 5 different winners this season. 6, in fact. I can't seem to count. You can tell I didn't do maths in my final year at high school. But anyway, enough about me. 16 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. The pressure is on. One-shot qualifying here tonight. It's a bit of a special feature we have at all of our season finales so far. Here comes Truss. And it's only good enough for 2nd. So Ned's time is looking very, very good still at this stage. But as soon as I say that, just hold my beer, because this man is about to absolutely tear it to shreds. The fan club is out. Wilco getting the tyres warm. Big Shep, everybody watching here. And it's all down to what Jason Wilkinson can do. Big hello to you, Mighty Murph, who says, #EllenFTW. I don't know what that means in New Zealand, but we will get our translator working pretty quickly. But in the meantime, it's time for Jason Wilkinson as he climbs the hill. He's looking good. What can he do on this lap, Rob?
Hopefully go quicker. That's the short and sweet answer of that. But he's looking very competitive, and he had probably the quickest time from last night's practice session. A little bit wide there up on the printed line there on the not AstroTurf, sorry, the ripple strip, and he's looking very tidy through the cutting. A little bit slow, a little bit cautious, but that's all right. And he's looking pretty committed up near the wall there. Oh, you can see the car just having a little bit of rotation, actually sliding through the corner there. Very quick through here, not flat on the throttle, he's touched the wall. That's okay, no lap time invalidations there. And he's looking so quick, and not touch the ripple strip there, which can really drag you onto the gravel there, going through the S's into. I just keep forgetting what this corner's called. That's actually a bit of a shameful thing to say. They're coming up to Forest Elbow, looking very committed, very stopped early on, early point in. A good exit, not up against the wall, but I think he got enough grip down on the pavement there, just push that car forward at a good rate of knots. And he's just thinking, now he's just taking a breather, just thinking about what he's got to do. And this is probably the hardest section of the circuit now, because now you've done all that work, and now it's pretty much 2 big stops to do, and the brakes get pretty hot through here. And he's just gone wide missed the apex and gone onto the ripple strip on the opposite side of the circuit there, but tried to clean it up by going a bit wider there, trying to carry a lot more pace. Up to Murray's now, into second. That's a very clean corner. This might be a decent lap to him, maybe a 3rd position coming up for Jason Wilkinson.
Forget about
to the top.
Forget about 3rd position, Rob Dog, because Jace has just taken provisional pole position here at Bathurst tonight. Righty, Murph, Aussie, and Righty was predicting at 2 minutes, 0.6, first person into the 2 minutes, but he didn't need to do that. 201.422, so a new provisional pole position man, 3/10 ahead of Oakley Dokley, and then a couple of guys in the 2 minutes there, Truss and Waffles and Andy Righty HSV, all in the 203s. That rhymes, and Mickey with a 209.7 as Robbie Rob! Our man, and I tell you what, who says men can't who reckons men can't multi-skill? Let me tell you, he's on the stream, he's in the commentary box, he's working the cameras, and we're not getting paid a cent. But anyway, that's something to take up in our next EBA when we talk to Wilco for Season 4. But it's all about this man, hashtag Can't Dude Nation.
Yeah, he's looking very good, and he's always been very quick around here. I think he won the last race last week at Indianapolis Road Course, and he's just got that little bit of momentum, and I think he's already sewed up the gap between he and Jason last week, so I'm pretty sure he's pretty comfortable in second there. So Jason needs to really do some work here and hopefully get a good start for himself to make sure that he's got enough gap to trust to get those keep away. So Truss can't get those 8 points from him, but Carter coming up to something. Oh, my brain's gone blank, Trev, but he's coming up to the cutting now.
Here he comes.
And, very good, very tidy, very smooth. That's very, very nice. Using sort of a go-kart line through there. And that's the line you want to use, trying to get onto the painted line on the opposite side there on the right-hand side. Very committed through there. Not as wide as a lot of people usually are when they're committed. But that's, you can see he's carrying a lot of pace. And he's flat through there. Little wiggle on the rear there. Oh, the rear end just wants to step out everywhere, but he's keeping it under control with his kart dude skills. Coming down through Scotland into the S's. And this car looks very, very tidy at the moment. It looks like it might be setting a pretty good lap time. Coming up to Forest Elbow now. Kart dude's thinking about where he's going to brake very early on the outside. Just a little bit of locking. Not, you couldn't see it that much. A little bit of blocking, just making that car a little bit sliding through the mid-apex there, but he's looking very tidy. Good exit. Coming up, going through Conrod now, coming up to the chase. So this is where he's going to be thinking, and he wants to get onto that left-hand side of the road there as he does, opening up to the corner there, just a little bit, every little bit counts. Very nice through there, into second, good apex, and he's looking pretty good for a quick lap time here, Trev, and he's coming up to Murray's corner. Now this is the one that can unravel it all, as we've seen so far in this stream. Up in the second now, very good apex, onto the throttle really early, so that car's set up pretty good for a one lap. And where is this going to put him?
Here he comes, up into 3rd position only. And Nemo, so many people were behind Kart Dude on that lap. Nemo saying, "Let's go, Brody, let's go." And Aussie Racer there, sorry about that, I shouldn't have done that. Aussie Racer saying, "Who is Brody?" Oh my goodness, I don't know really what to say to that one. Brody is just one of the most popular drivers on our grid. Not sure if he's serious there, Aussie, but thanks for the comment. Big fan club, our man Kart Dude, so hashtag Kart Dude Nation. But this man, Formula One rocks. Jono, he sure does. He's had a ripping season. And, well, he has absolutely dominated this season, not without controversy, of course. Best race in his eyes was Sakito, where he went from 10th to 1st. 6 race wins for the season, voted by his peers as the most consistent driver by 9 of our other drivers. Well, if that's not proof enough, then I don't know what is. His best battle in his own eyes was that amazing battle at Le Mans with Kart Dude before they decided to hit each other off the circuit and both get penalties. But anyway, that's a story we can all laugh at in years to come, Rob.
Yeah, it's a story we can all laugh at in years to come, and Fallen Rocks is probably he has been the most consistent racer of this season. He's just a win after win after win for the first part of the season through the mid part, and picked up the championship. And you can see the rear end just stepping out there, so the car's a little bit too pointy through there. But I think anyone who can knock Jason off the top there will be Fallen Rocks, and Fallen Rocks is just a super racer, and he's just a really good competitor, really competitive actually, really hard to beat. And he's had a little bit of bad luck for the last couple of races, but expect him to bounce back tonight. This is the one that everybody wants to win. It's Bathurst, and because majority of us are Australians and Kiwis, well, we are majority of Kiwis, Australians and Kiwis. We are the Anzacs, but we just love this circuit, and to get a win here is lots and lots of braking rights to go into season 4. So that's the one that everybody wants to get into, and Fallen Rocks just coming into Forest Elbow there. Good little application of the brake there, getting it turned in. A little bit slow in the mid corner there, but it's looking pretty good for the straight here. And actually, I think the Ford's been the quickest down the straight all night tonight. I think it's getting around about 280, so he doesn't have to worry about too much down here.
Certainly doesn't. As here he comes. Sorry there, Rob, I cut in, but he sure does. They all want to win Bathurst, but this man hasn't won it yet in his previous 2 SRL starts. Disconnected for season 1, of course, and then Kart Dude played some good out-strategized him in season 2. P2 his best result around here, but here he comes. Is it going to be good enough for pole position across the line? Yes! Our first man in the 2 minutes flat area with a 2-minute .787. Jono, did you think that was a good lap? Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
Jono, do you think you can win tonight?
Yeah, right.
Anyway. All right, okay, Aussie says this commentary is hilarious. I'm not sure whether we're meant to be hilarious, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Whoa! Jason just a little bit surprised with that lap, Rob. 0.6 of a second quicker than Wilco. Wah! Ooh! Yeah! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Yes, so Formula One Rocks just taking pole position with a scintillating lap. And I've just got into Murray Walker mode. You can see we're delirious. Boy, we're going to be putting in the extra overtime tonight. We'll be sending the timesheets through to Jason Wilkinson before you get too excited there. So 5 minutes gone remaining, I should say. 45 minutes gone in the qualifying session. And I reckon that's looking like our final order by the looks of it. Do we have anybody else coming out? I'm not too sure what is going on, Rob, but that's just another day at the office for me.
Yeah, it's another day at the office, and it's weird doing a live stream. I've gotten pretty used to it through this season, but every time you say a joke or I say a joke, it's very hard not to laugh very loudly down the microphone and drown everybody's emotions out. It's been really enjoyable doing this streaming this year for this season, Trev. It's a lot of fun. I think I have to come back next season and do it.
Yep, no doubt about that. Season number 4, www.supremeracingleague.com.au. Tier 1 full, well, not full for season 4, but don't forget to sign up, show your interest, and you could be racing and being talked about by 2 middle-aged men sitting in a small room. If you want to be, 4.5 minutes remaining. I reckon we're almost done for this qualifying session. And have we announced the awards for this season? That's a very good question, as I don't know where that information is, Wilco. But I'll just continue to keep going through this.
Found it.
Oh, yep, excellent. Well, I might have a short commercial break, Rob, if it is all right with you, and I'll let you read those awards, and then, yep, you can. I'll come back, and then we can do a swap if you like. But I might let you read the awards as we wait for the minutes to count down in this qualifying session.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. So Trev can go and use the lavatory, and I'll read out the awards for this season. So the first award that we've got tonight is the most consistent driver. Now, we had 11 votes for this one, but the most consistent driver, as of course it should be, is Formula 1 Rocks with 9 votes. These are all voted on by their peers, so these are very, very high regard for Formula 1 Rocks there. Cleanest driver. Now, this one was actually a bit of a tie here. Lots and lots of votes here, but the most cleanest driver is Sub GT and Jason Wilkinson, sharing 4 votes. So that's good work by those two boys. Most surprising finish, Jason at Le Mans with 4 votes. So Jason Wilkinson picking up another award there. Unluckiest driver. Now, this one's a bit of a hard one, actually. There's a lot of people who've had some bad luck in the league this year, but unluckiest driver for this season is V8 with 5 votes for his peers, and the next man who comes second in that is Truss, and those two have had a pretty rough season so far. But as we go on to the driver you feared the most. Now, this one was there was a few votes for this one, but the most feared driver was Formula 1 Rocks without... Sorry, that's a lie. This is a tie, actually. Most feared driver is Formula 1 Rocks, Fubbles and HSV with 2 votes each. So those 3 get the most feared driver. Best comeback drive, Car Dude at Algar, 13th to 3rd with 4 votes there, and that was an absolute joy to commentate that race. Car Dude absolutely demolished, and was just super quick than everybody else. Driver, I think that's all the votes, actually, so I'll just I'm just going to make up things now. The best commentary team with 11 votes, voted on by their peers, is Rob Dog and Trevor with 11 votes.
We've just got Guess Who's Back? Yes, that's right, I'm back. Now, I don't know what you've been saying, but I've just had some... If we check our Facebook messages, we've had some... we've had Jason just send them all through in case you've missed any. But, boy, how much of a professional unit are we in this commentary business? But thank God somebody saved us here, Rob. We've got the race results from Tier 2 coming through, and John Dog won that one convincingly ahead of V-Fingers. Then third was Broomy, just sweeping through the field to take third place there. Ah, yes, how good is that? Okay, fourth was Hecker, fifth was Aussie Bro, sixth was Dr. Moose, seventh was Compact. Hef did not finish, neither did Tooley. And, well, there you have it, 30 seconds on the clock there. So just a couple of minutes, Aussie, until we get this one underway, Rob. And I'm just wondering, is there any... we've mentioned the comeback drives, unluckiest driver, V8 man, driver you most feared. We've mentioned that already. So we've gone through the awards. Another season is gone. But before that, we've got 24 laps around this circuit. And, boy, aren't we looking forward to it, Rob.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. And just having a look at one of the questions here, Jason said best race. What do you feel like would be the best race that we've had so far this season, Trev?
It would be hard for me not to go, oh, gee, we don't want the PS4 going into rest mode, do we? Sorry about that for everyone watching the live stream. Herb, it finished in the steward's room, but like we said, that's a story for another day. And let's have a look at that. 15 drivers, or is it 16? I can't. There's somebody right at the back there. V8 man close to the back of the grid. Looking down into turn one here at Mount Panorama. Hell corner awaits them. 24 laps of this circuit. Mandatory pit stop if we haven't mentioned it already tonight. Light cloud, ambient temperature of 30 degrees. Perfect conditions for racing. And as they stare down into Hell's Corner, I wonder if it's going to be hell for any of the drivers. If we're going to see any incidents into turn 1 here tonight, Rob. Damage on as well, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, and honestly, the first corner around here usually gives a couple of incidences, but as you can see there, it's not a staggered grid tonight. It's a parallel grid like the V8 supercars use. So everybody, if the two front guys get an even start, that could be a bit of a ding-dong battle. But Jason might actually have a really good chance at actually taking away a win for the first time this season tonight. So that'd be a good result for him. Fallen Rock's the man to beat, and he's been the man to beat for the whole season. Super consistent, super fast. So I don't think he'll be giving up first any time. But Ned, the man from Tier 2, our champion for Tier 2, stepped up to Tier 1 and sitting in third with his Porsche. It's a pity that the Porsches weren't very common throughout our series this season, but that looks like a super quick car, and I might actually have a very good chance tonight. And Car Dude starting 4th and Truss 5th, so the top 5 are actually in the top 5 tonight. So this could be a very, very spicy race, as I like to say.
Here we go. The lights are on for Jason as well. Here we go. They are away. Formula One rocks. Leads down into turn 1 through Hell Corner. Jason slots into second. Ned in the Porsche slots into third, but he's got Car Dude hot on his heels as they've all managed to get through turn 1 cleanly. No contact further down the field as the first lap, the run down Mountain Straight up towards Griffin's Bend, and the start of the first climb across this famous mountain. Who will be the king of the mountain tonight? As it's Formula One rocks still leading. Ford, Porsche, Corvette. And so they've got a spinner, and it's Truss. Truss is around, and he's just managed to get out of that without taking half a dozen other cars with him, Rob.
Yeah, he's that was very unfortunate. Just looked like the rear end got loose. So I don't think I saw any contact. So it's just a bit of driver error, but you know what? That could actually turn out to be maybe a blessing in disguise, because we do have a mandatory pit stop. So if he comes in and gets that sorted out now, he doesn't have to worry about it throughout the race. And he's just pulling over to the side there, letting everybody else pass. And gee, that was a bit dodgy there with Truss and Mickey coming up there. That's a very unfortunate. But Formula Rocks on the first lap has almost pulled out a second between he and Jason Wilkinson, and Car Dude is hunting Jason in the background there. And Ned dropped down to 4th, but he's looking pretty good for the race, and that Porsche does tend to like to look after its tyres. But the big loss tonight so far is Truss with that little accident at the cutting.
Well, damage on for this race. We've been saying it all night. You can see he let most of the field through. Mickey there, I think he might have put Mickey offline. We might hear a little bit more about that later. But Car Dude has jumped Ned. Ned down to 4th place, so Formula One Rocks maintains the lead. And let's just take a look at this race from bonnet cam on Jason Wilkinson's car. That gap almost, over a second. Slight mistake there from Jason. Now Car Dude is there, just poking his neck out side by side. He's got him down into turn 1. Car Dude has made up 2 places, and we're only on lap 2.
Yeah, he's done a really good move there actually from Car Dude. Not a lot of room, and he just slotted his car just in front of Jason's there. But Jason has a straight line speed, which is weird to say considering the Corvette has been the quickest center straight for the whole season. So Jason gets that place back, and I saw him actually make he had a couple of stabs at Murray's corner there. A little bit of understeer, so that's what let Brody get into second position there. But Brody's looking very, very feisty at the moment, very punchy. Ned just tapping the wall there with his Porsche. So hopefully that hasn't given him any damage. I don't think it would, but Jason is defending very, very well, and Fallen Rocks is 2.5 seconds ahead of the field. That's just ridiculous pace at the moment.
It's absolutely bloody ridiculous. But look at this battle. Jason Wilkinson with Car Dude right up his ginger, and Ned dropping back slightly, but Ned's still there. And he wants a little bit of the action too, but let's ride inside the cockpit with Can't Dude 45, everybody's favourite Tasmanian, as he comes down now through the final parts of this lap as he gets ready to come back onto Conrod Straight. You can see further ahead there Jason directly in front of him in the Ford. Is he going to have a run on him down? We're in the perfect position here. Will he have a go down Conrod Straight and into the chase? All the while you can see Jono streaking away at the front. That gap on lap 2 is up to 3 seconds now. Cart Dude slots in behind Jason. He's not going to have a go at him in the chase. But Jason, a little bit of a mistake. Oh, just sending Cart Dude the long way round there. And, well, was that entirely legal? I do not know, Rob.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of a strange one there. Cart Dude was very obviously up the inside, on the outside of him there. We've got a Ferrari around in the background there. It looks like Andy Holden, so Waffles has picked up a place there off of his teammate. But yeah, that looked just a little bit fishy there. I mean, Cart Dude actually had the outside there, and Jason moved over on him, but that's going to be sorted out in the race stewards. But it hasn't affected the outcome of the race just yet, so I don't think they're going to worry about it too much. And Cart Dude's just going to be more eager to get past old mate Jason Wilkinson. But Ned is still on the back of Cart Dude there, and he's hassling him quite a lot there. And that Porsche is looking very comfortable through the mountain bit of this circuit, and you can see there it's very straight, very tight. He just, as I say, they just smacks the wall. Very unfortunate from Ned there. Oakley Dokley. I know he hates that, so I'm going to keep saying it myself. But
not very happy there, Rob. Ned, straight to bed. No Bible stories for you tonight. As Cart Dude now, just Jace and Cart Dude, they're both still close together. Aussie not too happy with that move of Jason's, saying he just pushed him off the circuit and should readdress that. Poor form from Jason. So Aussie, get your comments in, everybody, but Aussie not happy with that. There's a Formula One Rocks now, 3.2 seconds that gap. Lap 3 out of 24. Here at Mount Panorama and the long run down Conrod Straight again. And just Cart Dude looking the goods at the moment. Quicker, but just holding him back. All the while, this is allowing Formula One Rocks to drive away at the front. 3.5 seconds now, that gap. Jono, are you happy with that gap at the front? Yeah, I am. And thank you for that, Jono. We'll get back to you in just a moment. But now they're starting to spread out. V8 Man and a couple of others have made pit stops lower down the order, as Womp there currently in P11. So like I said, the field starting to spread out. Two teammates there, Mickey and Womp, 10th and 11th, battling over the final points paying position. Final round with shootout qualifying, which we had tonight, Rob. So everybody getting their little bit of time in the sun, a little bit of stream time, a little bit of air time for the sponsors. But what's happening there? Has he let him through, Rob?
Yeah, he's let him through there, and just Mickey looks just a little uncomfortable there with his car at the moment, so just letting his teammate through, that's a really nice thing to do, actually. So good sportsmanship from Mickey there on Womp. But just having a look at the lead pack here, and it's just opening and closing. That Corvette is just lethal around the top, and it's losing about 5/10 in Conrod Straight, so it's really interesting seeing how that will play out. But if he's got high downforce on, surely that would probably be better for his tyre life there, Trev.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting one strategy-wise, but, well, he's holding him. I was going to say he's holding him up, but Jace 2/10 quicker on that last lap with a 2:03.1 compared to Cart Dude's 2:03.3. So, interesting one there. As he's getting awfully close to him, isn't he? I reckon they got opposing setups, these two, though, because like we mentioned, just Jace managing to maintain that gap, but now Cart Dude's got a good run on him. That Corvette very quick in a straight line. He gets in behind the Ford, and Wilco will be sweating like crazy, I'd reckon, because Cart Dude is lining him up to have a go. We might get that speedo up to just see the sorts of speeds. They're getting up to about 270, 280, I beg your pardon, 290 almost, heading through the chase. And is he going to make a sneaky move here? And the tyre wear medium, so the tyres shouldn't need to be changed for this race. Oh, wow, look at this. All sorts of information coming in now, but he's very, very close. Is he going to have a go as we cross the line into lap 5, Rob?
No, he's too far back to have a go, but he's got to pressure Jason anyway. Just try and get onto that big rear wing of the Ford there, try and get some pace. I mean, that Corvette's really set up for downforce at the moment, so any little advantage you can get, any little bit of drafting you can get, that's going to be great for a car team. And he might maybe start thinking about having a move into the cutting here. Jason just moving across there in the braking, not in the braking zone, just before the braking zone, really bumpy before the braking zone, actually really unsettles the car there. But we're going to have a look at the trackside view coming up to the cutting. You can see there Jason just really pushing it at the moment, just trying to go a little bit deeper than Can't Do, and trying to be a little bit more committed, just trying to keep that Ford ahead of him. Fallen Rocks just sprinting away from these two at the moment, about 4.5 seconds ahead. So Fallen Rocks has it a little bit easier at the moment, but that could all change by the time of the pit stop. And actually, just having a look here, Truss still in 13th, so he hasn't made much ground at all. Nemo in the pit lane there, so he's coming for his mandatory pit stop. Car Dude's looking very, very good through the top of the mountain, but maybe just a little bit too much downforce. Chase makes a little mistake getting on the grass there. Car Dude all over the back of him, but no dice, and Jason taking the long sort of way around there. And Car Dude getting the pace there, trying to get onto the throttle as early as he can. Jason just trying to block as much as he can, trying to keep Car Dude away from his position there. And Car Dude's right off the back here. Might actually think about having a move into the chase here, Trev. This could be a very spicy one.
Well, the slipstream is OP at this track. I think that's what the young kids say nowadays on the internet. But Car Dude, it's a narrow circuit up towards the top of the hill and in the middle part of this lap. So if you want to defend, very much like Mansell defending Ayrton Senna back in Monaco all those years ago, you can defend if you need to. But Can't Do now across lap 6 out of 24. So just quarter race distance here, quarter chicken and chips. Don't forget the gravy. But now Can't Do down the first straight, mountain straight here. They're side by side. He pulls out. Is he going to have a dive in? No, he's, well, that Ford's still pretty handy in a straight line as well. And he's not going to get through there, and I don't reckon he's going to have another go until he gets back onto Conrod straight again. He runs wide, makes slight contact with the wall, all the while Ned's dropping further back down the field. Let's not forget about Truss. We might stick with this battle too, but Truss just starting a bit of a comeback drive there in P12 all over Nemo, like a cheap suit at the moment. But we'll stick with this battle. This is the battle that everybody wants to see. Of course, none other than Jason Wilkinson and Cart Dude going hammer and tongs. Aussie says very aggressive. Cart is on him, says piston broke 05. Not sure whether we can say that. It's a little bit saucy, but we will anyway. Here they come again, Rob.
Yeah, here they come, and the Car Dude's just probably getting fed up at this point. Jason's blocking left, right and centre. He's not going to let him pass, and rightfully so. Jason still has the track position, so he still has the right to do that. And the Car Dude's just trying to get beside him, and just a little, I think that was a touch of the brake from Car Dude there, actually. If you, we'll have to have a look at that in the replay, but that looks like Car Dude actually had to brake there. So this is going to be very spicy in the chat later on. Car Dude's trying to just get that little bit of pace off of Jason there. He's so much more quicker than Jason through the hill, but Car Dude just can't get past some of the straight, and that's pretty much the main overtaking area as well. So yeah, Car Dude's just putting in as much heat as he can. Jason's slow there. Jason's a bit slower there than Car Dude. Car Dude knows that. He's trying to get on the outside here. Not the place you want to be, but Jason's defending into the middle of the circuit there, so he's doing the right thing. Car Dude has the better exit. Pulls out to the left-hand side of the road there, and he's beside Jason Wilkinson, but I don't think that Corvette will have enough pace, so he's going to have to slot in behind him, unless he can get the side draft there, going down, up towards the next corner. Jeez, they are just absolutely hammering tongs at this point, and Fallen Rocks is 8 seconds ahead of these two at the moment, and you've got to think that maybe if these two maybe worked together, they probably could have pulled that early gap on that Fallen Rocks had a lot quicker than what they're doing here in car 2. Just getting a little bit wild there. Just let Jason have a bit of breathing room. And actually just thinking about this, these two are just going hammer and tongs at it, and that might be really, really unbeneficial for their tyre life there, Trev, especially if they're running soft tyres around here. They could be struggling towards the end of this race.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I reckon the pit strategy, tyre strategy, shouldn't need to change your tyres around this circuit. But if they're battling like this, and it is a real ding-dong, this one, who knows, they might need to change those tyres at some point in this race. But have a look at this. Second and third in this race. Second and third in the Drivers' Championship. It's Corvette versus Ford. It is Tasmania versus Victoria. I'm getting a little bit dramatic here, but it's going to be interesting in the post-race, given that we are the stewards and Jace pays our salary. But anyway, let's not talk about that now. Exactly right. Yeah, plenty of zeros. Nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. But the battle is hot here tonight. Boy, Formula One rocks. If he keeps going at this rate, he's making up a second a lap out the front. He's lapping 2 seconds quicker than these two at the moment. He's going to have a pit stop in hand at this rate by about lap 20. But anyway, never mind about that. Rob, spicy aggressiveness indeed, my friend. Lap 8 out of 24. Ooh, I tell you what, Jace is not giving an inch here at the moment. Cart Dude screaming in the cockpit of that Corvette saying, let me by, let me by, let me through. The dogs are barking too. That's very poetic of me, if I don't say so myself, but he's still not able to get through. This is going to be awfully frustrating for Cart Dude at the moment, but Jason says, I don't have to go anywhere. This is for position. Blue flag? No blue flag here, Jason says. And he is not letting him through, and he's not giving him anything across the top of the mountain and down again, back down the other side. And Ned has dropped further back as well. They're in fourth position. Not much else spicy happening at the moment. This is by far the spiciest Vindaloo on the menu here tonight. Cart Dude, where is he going to make this move? He has to be so careful. Jason has got an extremely wide car here tonight. That Ford is everywhere that Cart Dude wants to be. And let me tell you, there is nothing between these two. Talk about a ding-dong battle. Barely a coat of varnish between them all night. I reckon Cart Dude, judging our viewers think that Cart Dude's got the pace. But it doesn't matter if you can't get past, Rob.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can't get past. And if I was Cart Dude, I'd be thinking about taking that early pit stop. Just get out of that wake of that not Falcon. Can't call that a Falcon. It's not great enough. But get out of that wake of that Ford there and get away from Jason and just get in some clear air. Maybe a little bit slower traffic though. There we go. Oh, a little bit of a dummy there from Cart Dude. I was thinking that he might go for the early stop, but I think he probably should at this point. Jason's just blocking everywhere. He's not going to let him pass easy. So if Cart Dude can come in, do a pit stop, maybe get some fresh tyres on that car, and put some good lap pace in, he might be able to jump Jason in the pit stops when they all end up pitting. But you can see that Cart Dude's struggling there with those front tyres just going a little bit wide there onto the dirty stuff there off the AstroTurf. So you can see Cart Dude's probably getting a little bit fed up, and as we say, the HSV is actually coming for a pit stop. So he's probably thinking about maybe he might have gotten into the same position trying to do that little bit of an undercut. So I think if I was Cart Dude, I'd be thinking about the undercut right now.
So Cart Dude down on the corner, selling some candy, selling some dummies there. Just a little bit of a feint off to the left-hand side there. Didn't end up going into the pit lane. But I reckon you're right, Rob. I reckon he's decided now after 9 laps of this race that he doesn't want to just wear out those tyres too much. He's just sitting back now, about a second or so behind Jason. And you've got to say, he's got to be thinking about the undercut, you'd reckon, here tonight. Pit stop around 30 seconds. No need to change your tyres if you don't feel like it. But, boy, I reckon he's got a fair amount of pace. That lead now 10.4 seconds. Also, Truss has got past Nemo. and is tracking Womp down. He's at a vast rate of knots. But anyway, will Cart Dude look to go with the undercut? And if he comes in now, Rob, I reckon he's looking at about 7th or 8th position between Mighty Murph and HSV. And, well, not many people have got between those two this season. Mighty Murph and HSV together again, just like nuts and gum, together at last. And you're thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Well, I don't know either, but he's gone past the pits, not pitting this lap, Rob.
Yeah, he's not pitting this lap, and that's... I really don't know why, because I think this might actually end up in a bit of an accident, to be honest. Cart Dude just wants to get past, and Jason just doesn't want to give him the position, and rightfully so. Jason shouldn't have to give him the position. You can see that Cart Dude's past. Jason's on the dirty stuff. Cart Dude is side by side with Jason. Jason just gets that little, it just has the speed in that Ford there. You can see that Ford just eking a little bit further and further away from the Corvette there, and I think it might be a bit of a rough decision to try and go around the outside like two trailer park girls. Eminem just once rapped about Cart Dude having to get on the brake pedal there, making sure that it's not going to end up in a terrible accident there, blocking the road. I'm still cut about Marcus Ambrose. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that last week, but I think that the wise decision here is just get away from Jason as much as you can, so that's a pit stop.
Well, Piston Broke says, go, go, go for Cart Dude. But I reckon it was pretty ambitious to go round the outside, round the outside. Anyway, enough about Eminem. Hopefully we get done for copyright. That was just how good that was. But Cart Dude now. Oh boy, 1 second behind Jason, who is still not giving him anything. He's not even giving him the smell of an oily rag at this stage. Lap 10 out of 24 here tonight. And don't forget about the battle between Jason and Truss 2 for P3 in the Drivers' Championship, only 8 points apart. So keep an eye out for that as Truss still out of the points. Speak of the devil, he's into the pit lane now, Truss. But he got some damage on lap 1, of course, as he spun around like Kylie Minogue in those golden shorts many, many years ago. Spinning around, you're right in my way. Anyway, delicious indeed, Rob. So Cart Dude now, lap 10 out of 24. Is he going to come into the pits? Oh, they're both doing it now, but Cart Dude is into the pits, Rob.
Yeah, that's a wise decision from Cart Dude. You can see Jason trying to dummy him there, but I think Cart Dude was just already committed, so Cart Dude's just got to get that little bit of breathing room there. Now I have to go through the list to see where the next spicy battle is, and that's pretty hard around here at the moment, but we'll try our best. Righty's about a second away from the 8-man, so we might watch this one for a little bit.
Here comes Righty now, looking to get that final points-paying position in P10 off of V8 man. And boy, Aussie racer there on the live stream, Rob, very, very salty. Saltier than the Dead Sea. Just saying that you should have got a drive through there, Jason. But anyway, don't forget about the politics in the sport as well. We've got to remember about that. But Righty, the teammate of our man Wilco, tracking down V8 man. I reckon this is about the closest battle on the circuit. But Cart Dude has come out in 7th, and he's got past Mighty Murph as well. This is incredible stuff. I know we're looking at Righty at the moment, but and I think that's some traffic there as well. It might be Mickey or Womp there ahead of Righty there. V8 man through past that traffic, and well, Cart Dude they're wasting no time going ahead of Mighty Murph, and that gets Ned up to P3 as well. So very, very nice effort there from Ned. There might be some Babel stories for you tonight, as he's doing very well in P3. Our Tier 2 champion doing well in Tier 1. And what about Waffles and Bits? And who could forget that famous quote from Murray Walker? Let's take a look at the drivers lower down the order. That's a little bit harsh though, Rob, because Waffles doing very nicely there. P4 just 2 seconds behind Ned.
Yeah, he's not that far away, and I mean, if you're Murray Walker, that means I'm James Hunt, so I can say technically he's driving a red bullshit, but famous quote there from James Hunt, but Yeah, Waffles is actually putting a good result here. He's only 2 or 3 seconds away, so he's looking pretty for a top 5 finish here. And Cart Dude's made the decision to go into the pit lane, so this just got a little bit more confusing for us commentators at the moment. Just looking through the field again, not much is happening apart from that battle with Jason Cart Dude, and unfortunately that's just stopped dead in our tracks. But let's see if Cart Dude can make some positions up and some time up on Jason Wilkinson there. But Waffles is doing a very good job on Ned. Ned, he's in third. I mean, for his first appearance in Tier 1 after winning the Tier 2 championship, he's doing a very good job, Trev.
Yes, he sure is. V8 man up to P9. I need to stop chatting to his girlfriend on the live stream. She says, I just said I love Dane and just saying, and Grace says not sure if she's willing to share. We might leave that one for the post-race. But you know what time it is for everybody watching the live stream. It's lap 12 out of 24, which means, Rob,
half the race gone and half the race to go. My walk is terrible.
No, we'll take that at the moment. Oh, Big Waffles. Whereabouts is he? P4. That's right. He was in P4. He still is in P4. 3 seconds behind. Oakley Dokley. Timing impeccable on the cameras, Rob, as he comes onto Conrod Straight. Better get those taxes in, Nettie. Here he comes. Lap 12 out of 24. I love saying it. 12 out of 24. You know what lap you're on when I'm commentating. That's for sure. But 14 seconds, 14 and a half, nearly 15 seconds between Formula One Rocks and Jason. No battles there at the moment. Ned Flanders in third, Waffles in fourth, Andy fifth. Can't do to fairway behind him. Will that early pit stop come back to haunt him, or will it do him good? I wonder. Nemo saying, I lost my brakes. And Aaron saying, come on, Dane, let's see some of those signature passes. Oh boy, lots of love for you, Dane, in the stream tonight, as there often is, and why wouldn't there be? He's a smooth unit. Take it from me, I've actually met him in real life. But here comes Nettie. And what can he do? The Porsche. Absolutely looking beautiful here as Andy comes into the pits. We've got some pit stop action, Rob. And Can't Do that puts him up into fifth. This man, he's got clean air. What can he do with it?
Well, hopefully... oh, no! As you say that, the commentator's curse strikes again, so Cart Dude has just got a little bit of damage on the front end there. He's just revving the crap out of it, trying to get out of the sand trap there, but he's got it out there. He can't get bogged here, but that's almost ruined his race there, so Jason's getting away scot-free, and the only person that we can really rely on at the moment is Waffles and Ned to perform some action. But other than that, we might have to go on the circuit ourselves, Trev, and maybe lay some tacks.
Yeah, not sure if you want that. Maybe we could take Bernie Eccleston's suggestion from a few years ago. Maybe some sprinklers somewhere on the track, maybe at the top of the mountain. We could flick those on at a moment's notice to maybe cause some carnage. No, only kidding. 30 degrees, beautiful conditions for racing. And I'm not sure, he just seemed to get it all wrong heading into Hell's Corner at turn 1. Very strange incident. There was nobody else around him, just getting it all wrong. Ending up in the gravel. Had to whack it in reverse. Looked a little bit like me on a busy night at the Woolworths car park there, getting it all wrong on that occasion. But Cart Dude now, where is he on the timing sheets? 50 odd seconds behind Formula One Rocks, but that gap still, it's going to be mighty close. When is Jason coming into the pits, I hear you ask? But there's not too many other close battles. A few seconds between all of the drivers, right down to Mickey there in 14th. I beg your pardon, Mickey's a fair way behind tonight. But Cart Dude in the Corvette. And that could have big ramifications, Rob, because Jace looking for P2 in this championship. As Waffles now into the pits from 4th place in the Ferrari.
Yeah, Waffles is in the pits, and he's just putting in a really good, consistent drive at the moment. I don't think, honestly, I think Waffles will come out just ahead of Cart Dude here, so this could be a little bit of action. You can see Waffles just not taking any tyres on board, so Cart Dude has lots of work to do on Waffles. Looking ultra consistent there, so Waffles is looking pretty good for maybe a podium finish tonight for Waffles, but Ned Still around about 3 or 4 seconds between he and Jason Wilkinson, and Ned's just putting in very consistent laps at the moment. Just not looking for outright speed, just looking for consistency, and he's doing a very good job of that at the moment. That Porsche is looking very comfortable to drive. And looking through the field here, the next, I think, yeah, Andy Holden is actually catching Cardew, so this could be a nice little battle we might have here.
Yes, we need a good battle at this stage, but Ned, I reckon he's done a very good job, hasn't he? Tier 2 champion, like we keep saying, and he's just put all the Ned Flanders jokes aside and looking very good there in P3. Yet to make his pit stop, though. As Aaron says, keep it up, Jason. Yes, Jace, well, he's looking a lot better than he was a few laps ago for P2. And how important was that battle in the opening laps as well, Rob? When you think about it, Cardew pitting early, making that mistake, losing out even to Waffles there, who came out of the pits ahead of him. So that battle, and Jason, he was very stubborn on the opening laps of this race, and it's done him good, hasn't it? It's managed to pay off for him in the end.
Yeah, it's managed to pay off for him in the end, and I think maybe Cardew and Jason were just really probably aggro for those opening laps, or maybe Cardew should have just taken that pit stop a lap or two earlier, just try and get that clear air. But yeah, just a bit of driving error from that crash from Cardew. You can see he just tried to get on the power a little bit too early, and the car just wanted to snap the other way, and as you can see, tried to deploy the brakes there, just didn't want to stop. So Cardew has lost out there, but he's still at 5th. That's not a bad position, so he's still in the running here for a second in the championship. Considering that he's missed, I think, 2 or 3 races this season, he probably could have this could have been a total decider tonight. But yeah, Righty here is looking pretty good at the moment, catching Mighty Murph by a couple tenths a lap, so this could be another interesting battle at the end of the race here. And that's about it. That's apart from Andy Holden and Cardew, actually, there's about a second separating these two.
Rob, I cannot believe what I'm hearing from you, my good man. That is it. Never at Bathurst is it. Is it over? There's always something going on. Please keep those comments coming through, though, on the live stream. We love them. And, boy, 15 people watching the live stream now. Lap 15 as well. What a coincidence. As Waffles, too, showing some good pace. And Nemo saying birthday race. But here is Andy, then, who's not too far behind Cardew. I tell you what, Cardew there, almost falling into the clutches of Andy Holden V8. And HSV in 7th. V8 man, talk about a comeback drive. He's in P8. Mighty Murph. Finally, someone getting between Dean and Alan there as a V8 man in P8. Mighty Murph in P9. Righty in P10. Rounding out our points-paying positions. 9 laps to go until the end of this one. But Andy showing good pace. Snuck up into 6th place now. And Cardew, I tell you what, he's keeping Cardew honest, and Cardew's gone off the track and taken a little bit of a sneaky shortcut there, and that's going to keep Andy interested now. So Cardew, it's all going wrong for him at the moment.
Yeah, it's all going wrong for him at the moment, and it's just a little bit sad because Cardew really had some good pace early on in the race, and just threw it away with a little silly mistake, but that just happens around here. That happens a lot, actually. And Andy Holden going past Cardew. Cardew's not going to argue about it. Andy Holden has a lot more pace than Cardew, so Cardew's just going to slot in behind there in 6th. So Andy Holden got that the job done there, and gee, I was hoping for a little bit more of a battle, but I think maybe we'll think about maybe some trivia, I reckon, Trev. How about that?
I reckon V8 man and HSV are getting awfully close there for 7th and 8th, if we want to flash to that. And just and show Grace something about her, man, as Andy, or was that Cardew coming into the pits again? No, that couldn't have been. I must have been seeing things. No, he is into the pits again. So, second time around, Cardew is in the pits. So, this is very, very interesting as we take a look now at Waffles. So, Cardew, something must be wrong with that Corvette, as Waffles is right with Netty. And he has got some pace, hasn't he, Rob? He's very, very close. Lap 16 out of 24. He's only a second or so behind Ned, who's been minding his own business in P3, and he's put in a good performance here tonight. And Godspeed, little doodle. Can Ned hold on to P3? at the moment? That is the big question, as Cart Dude right down to P10, so I reckon Jason might have P2 in the championship wrapped up because Truss is way back in P13. But let's just take a look at Waffles for the time being in the Ferrari, and our man Waffles, who took that victory, of course, at Spa, and he's got 2 other podiums to go with it, currently sitting in 5th place in the championship. And, well, a lot of people here a few people might actually jump Truss, I should say. I think Waffles is going to be one of them if he can stay where he is tonight. But down Conrod Straight, approaching the chase. Ned maintaining that gap of a second, and Jason's into the pits as well, Rob. So our man Wilco into the pits and then out of it again. And is he going to run into some traffic? I'm not too sure. I think he had a fair old gap there. I think that's Truss and Womp doing battle. So Jason will want to stay well clear of that. And he's out ahead of Ned. So no issues there. He's back out onto the track, well clear of the battle for 3rd and 4th, Rob.
Yeah, that was a bit of a netty no-no, to be honest. So this is looking like a solid 2nd position for Jason here. And that late traffic there, I think that's Truss in front of him there. So, yeah, that'll clear him soon. And Truss has had another crash for Truss. That's really sad. He looked really good in the qualifying session earlier on in the stream. But Ned and Waffles are still pretty close, and I'll just chuck this one out there for the chat. Which driver has made the most Bathurst 1000 starts? It'll be interesting to one that people will use Google. What am I talking about? That you cheaters. You're yeah. Bunch of bastards, but wow,
Jeez, all right. I was about to say, Jesus Christ, Rob, what are you doing there, mate? Aussie says maybe Ned's reading Babel stories whilst he's driving. He could take a few pages out of the good book. Aussie says Craig Lowndes. Just an early answer for your question. Nemo says Dean versus Dane. Try saying that in a New Zealand accent. Dean versus Dane is the battle, guys. I reckon it is Craig Lowndes, isn't it, for that trivia question you asked just a moment ago. But lap 18 now out of 24. 6 laps left here at Mount Panorama. 6 laps left in this season. And I know you're going to be emotional about that, everybody watching at home. And what is happening? HSV and V8 man between Dean and Dane. What is happening there? Those times are all up shit creek without a paddle at the moment. I'm not sure whether I can swear. Or yes, maybe 9:30 here in Victoria, 9 o'clock where you are, Rob. Maybe I can say that, maybe I can't. But Waffles still all over the back of Ned Flanders. And, well, we've got some traffic thrown into the mix as well.
Yeah, a little bit of traffic, so that could slow up Ned there for Waffles. So if they get out of the way early enough, there won't be a trouble there. So yeah, we just see, I think that might be not Righty, I think that might be Nicky SR just moving aside for those two at the moment, and Waffles just trying to get that little bit of slipstream off the back of the Corvette there. But the answer to the trivia question, who's had the most starts at Bathurst, is 35, and that is Jim Richards.
Oh, Jimmy Richards. So C. Lowndes, not the man we were looking for. Okay, Nemo, boy, he wants to see Dean and Dane, that's for sure. But anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. And well, Waffles, he's dropping back a little bit now, isn't he? That gap 2 seconds. So he won't be coming up to Ned anytime soon and saying, "Hidely ho, neighborino." And well, Big Shep. And just join the stream as well. Hello to Big Shep. We love you, mate. Your man Wilco looking good for P2 in this race and P2 in the championship at this stage. And that gap now 3 seconds between Dean and Dane. So the gap has gone out a little bit. But we might just stick with Waffles at the time being. 2 seconds, nearly 3 seconds between those two. And Truss is out now, Rob, with a sticking throttle, so that might explain his incidents earlier in the race. And we might just flick to that battle between Dean and Dane, and just to keep Nemo from spamming the chat for the rest of the night. There you go, Nemo. We've got the battle, Dean versus Dane. And I reckon someone might have come into some foul play there, Rob, because that gap's not quite as close as what we thought. HSV there with a bit of broken glass on the side of his car.
Yes, he's just got in a couple of incidents there, probably just a couple of wall collisions, but you know what, if he's got the pace and he can catch, if Mighty Murph can catch him, that's good news for him. But yeah, he's looking pretty good, old Dino there, so he might have a good finish here tonight. But just having a look at those timesheets there, and it's just so spread out. It's very unusual for Bathurst. Usually everybody's pretty close, but this one's very spread out at the moment, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, Dean's doing a really good job there, keeping the car straight, having a look. Well, I don't know why he'd be having a look at the pit lane there. He's already had a pit stop, but yeah, it's just a bit of a slow burn in this one tonight, Trev.
It is a slow burner. Maybe we might have. I mean, we've sung in the past. We've got the cheeky jokes, the one-liners, the dad jokes. Maybe we could start a bit of a rap. Who knows? Dane might want to finish this race. He's fighting for 5th place. Get 5th place for Grace. That's not a very good rap there. I don't think Drake's got too much to worry about indeed. But look at that. HSV. And here he is climbing the mountain for the 19th time out of 24 laps. I reckon Nemo liked a little bit of rap. Hopefully Grace liked that rap too, wherever you're watching up there in Queensland or wherever you live. But it's Formula 1 Rocks. Let's just recap here. It's F1 Rocks 18 seconds ahead of Jason in 2nd. Oakley in 3rd, 3 seconds ahead of Waffles in 4th. Then it's Andy in 5th. And then V8 man Dane in 6th, winning the battle between the Deans and the Danes. Not Danish people, of course, but 7th for HSV, Mighty Murph, those two inseparable as always. And then it's Righty in 9th, Fubbles in 10th, Cart Dude in P11, it's all gone bad for Cart Dude. Womp in 12th and Mickey not so fine in 13th. And Righty and Mighty, we just might see that battle. Nemo, what's he doing on the chat, Rob? It's absolutely so distracting seeing those comments on the live stream.
Yeah, those cheeky Kiwis, they don't. They're a bunch of fun. They're crazy people. I was going to say the C word there. That's not appropriate for a live stream. I don't want to be ordering Chinese food like I was at Le Mans while I was absolutely blasted off my head. But good night. But yeah, it's just it's a good result here for Jason so far. I think this is probably his second best result of the season, apart from the win at Le Mans. So he's did a good job there, and who's that in the background?
It's Mighty Murph.
Righty and Mighty Murph.
Righty, I tell you what, Nemo, it only took 35 comments on the live stream. Ozzy saying, is that a polite way to tell Nemo where to go? But anyway, Righty down the inside. And on the outside, I should say, it was Mighty Murph down the inside. And look at these two coming up. Oh, yes, a bit of bonnet cam action for your Thursday night. Nemo says, well, it's about time, eh? And that's exactly what Mighty Murph will be saying as Righty's right up his ginger. I'm not sure how to say that in New Zealand language, but we love the Kiwis. No C words around there, just fish and chips. That's the only C word I want to be talking about, is chips. And we might leave that one there, but this battle is keeping Dane honest. One of the awards we should have mentioned was vote for your favourite bad accent or bad voice that we do. But have a look at that, the sun just looking very nice on the bonnet of that Ford, and Righty's off into the wall as Nemo had fish and chips tonight. But Righty is off into the wall, and your countryman Nemo is off into the distance and up to P8.
Yeah, he's up at the P8. That's a good drive so far from Mighty Murph. He's looking very good. Oh, Righty just with a big spin there, just clouding the wall. So that's ruined his race a bit there. He's just gone straight to the pit lane. There's no use continuing. That's what he's thinking at the moment. But gee, that was a very interesting battle there for a good half a lap, and now it's gone again. So we have to find something else to have a look at. And I think the Mighty Murph one here, just catching up to HSV. Is probably the one to look at, unless Cardew can make some pace on Fubbles in action. I think that might be a very interesting one to watch at the end of the race here. So this could there might be some action in Cardew yet.
Somebody do something, please. We don't want to have to crack out the New Zealand one-liners again. The accent's bad enough. Just imagine if we keep going on with those jokes for the last 4 laps of this race. Oh boy, I wish my dogs would stop barking and waking up my 8-month-old daughter. But anyway, that's my personal issues. As Mighty Murph now right up behind HSV. These two boys catch up quite regularly, once a year in fact, at Albert Park. Very good friends off the track, but no love lost on the track. Indeed is Dean running a little bit wide. You're not going to get through there, Murph. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think we should start role-playing at the moment, Rob. It is after 9:30 Victorian time, but I don't want to get into that because it could get us into a bit of trouble.
A little bit of trouble, and it's not the type of role-playing I'm into, Trev, but that's my personal stories as well. But Mighty Murph has actually got a lot of pace on a HSV here, so this could be a good little flourish to the end of the race. And Fallen Rocks, he's had no airtime at all, but he just walked away from everybody else. So this is looking like a very, very good battle here, and you can see the shadows getting longer into the circuit. The circuit is starting to cool down a little bit now. And Mighty Murph, just a little bit of a wiggle out into there, but he's looking very, very good to catch HSV. And HSV knows that Mighty Murph is coming, and he just wants to try and get as much pace out of that car as he can. But he's just looks like it's struggling a bit, to be honest, Trevor. You can see here Mighty Murph is on the back of HSV, getting that toe. So this could be a bit of a move here, and he's up to the bumper here. A little bit of bump drafting NASCAR style coming into the chase here. Might have a look on the inside here. No, and there's a car around. That's V8 Man.
And V8 Man, oh my goodness, Grace, look away now, because that that Ford, is missing a few bits and pieces. I couldn't tell what it was. There were so many bits hanging off of it. But Mighty Murph, back to the Corvette versus Corvette battle here tonight. And you'd never believe it, would you? The battle over 6th position. It's Dean in 6th place ahead of his Kiwi friend Mighty Murph in P7, and he'll just be loving this. These two boys like a little bit of stream time, and they've got it here tonight because there's not much else happening, you might say, everybody watching at home. But 2 laps to go until the end of this one. Dean goes to the inside, looks to get defensive against Murph. Murph there, can't quite get alongside him. Now the narrow climb up the hill here at Bathurst in Mount Panorama begins. It's going to be very hard for Murph to get by Dean on this lap, in this part of the track anyway, as we head in towards Sector 2. Aussie saying V8 Man does it to himself each and every week. That's a little bit harsh. You're talking to fans of Dane here, so just be careful there, Oz. Jace also has a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's 10 seconds ahead of Ned. So that could be something spicy for the final laps of this race. But it's all about this battle at the moment. And Murph, he just went and grazed the wall, eh? And boy, that's not good for his race tonight. But he's all over the back of him too, isn't he? But that is not going to help damage on tonight. And getting a little bit spicy. Talk about spice on the comments at the moment. But Cart Dude also on the back of Fubbles. But Mighty Murph down Conrod straight. Never mind about that, because Cart Dude, he's all over him like a man possessed. Still on for 2 points there in P9 at the moment. But they're side by side at the moment, heading into the chase, these two. Oh, Mighty Murph, where is he going to get this move done, Rob? And he's running out of time as well.
He's running out of time, but it might get done here up in Murray's corner. He's got the run on HSV there, and they're side by side. HSV defending, late braking. Last of the late breakers there, but Mighty Murph gets past him on the run there, and Mighty Murph has just popped himself in the 6th there. You can see HSV just trying to get on the back there, trying to see if he can get a little bit of a toe from the Mighty Murph there. But I would have to say that maybe HSV might have a little bit of aero damage there, because he's a little bit slower in the straight line than than Mighty Murph. But Mighty Murph got the job done, and it's up into 6th, so that's a good result for Mighty Murph. And I don't think HSV is going to have enough pace in that car to try and do another attack. But the next battle that we've got to have a look at is this one, I think, because Cart Dude's got pace back.
Well, he made a second pit stop. He could have changed tyres and whacked. We didn't need much fuel, but yep, so he's all over. He's going to be all over the back of Fubbles there for P8, and he seems to have a penalty as well. But this is the man on your screen, Formula One rocks. He couldn't do it in Season 1. He disconnected in Season 1, cost him the championship. Could have potentially cost him the championship. He finished P2 in Season 2. He's never been able to conquer the mountain, but if he can just get through the final couple of sectors, 2 or 3 kilometres, he's very wide indeed. As soon as we put him on the live stream, he's almost binned it there at approaching the top of the mountain. But like we said, he couldn't do it in Season 1. He couldn't do it in Season 2. But not only is he going to win this race and become the king of the mountain, he's our world champion for SRL Project Cars 2. That's right. Oh, Kart Dude has made the move. Speaking of champions, Kart Dude making the move there on Fubbles up into P8. But would you be ever so kind to bring our man home and across the line once he crosses the mountain for one final time? Onto Conrod Straight for the last time, down Conrod Straight, heading to the chase. He's been absolutely flawless in this race, and he's extended the gap right throughout the course of the 24 laps. And he comes into the chase for the final time this race, the final race this season. We're going to welcome home our new SRL champion. He's got 6 wins this year. He's going to make it the magnificent 7 and take his first win at Mount Panorama. Formula One rocks, crosses the line to win here at Bathurst and take his 7th win for the season. And he finishes the season off in style here tonight. But the battles are not over. Jason, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But he's still 11 or so seconds ahead of Ned. I reckon he's got it here. The lights are flashing. Big Shep, crack out the champagne, because he comes across the line to take P2 in the race and P2 in this championship as well. And don't forget about Ned Flanders as well. First race in Tier 1. Our Tier 2 champion takes P3 here tonight. Oakley dokley indeed. And Waffles gets P4 in the Ferrari. So a great result for him. And here comes Andy. Don't forget about Andy. And he's going to come across the line for a pretty decent top 5 finish and take 10 championship points with him as well. He comes across the line, so Andy will finish in P5. And where is Mighty Murph? Here he is. Let's bring Mighty Murph home for Corvette, for New Zealand, for his team here tonight. P6 after an almighty battle with Dean in the final part of this race. Mighty Murph through Murray's Corner and onto the final start-finish straight to take P6 in this race. HSV behind him in P7. And the Corvette's there finishing line astern. And Kart Dude is about, well, geez, he brake tested me. Mighty Murph there just brake testing Dean. But here comes Kart Dude. He started off having a titanic battle with Jason, but he had some incidents. But that is all she wrote for this race and this season, as the final results are on your screen. Jono winning from Jason in second. Magnificent 7 for Jono. Then second is Jason Wilkinson. Third is Netty. No Netty no-nos. There'll be Bible stories for you tonight. In third. Fourth is Waffles and Bits. Fifth is Andy Holden. Sixth, Mighty Murph. 7th HSV, Fubbles is 8th, 9th is Kart Dude in the end, Womp taking the final points paying position, Mickey, his teammate, So Fine, You Blow My Mind in 11th, and then Righty, Truss, Nemo, all retired, couldn't finish the race, but I've lost my voice, Rob.
Yeah, you've lost your voice, and what a season we've had. It's just an absolutely cracker of a season. Formula Rock's taking half the season wins with him, and you can just understand why he's the season champion for this season. He's just so quick and committed. It's just unbelievable how consistent he was this season, and arguably so. Probably could have been a season 1 champion, maybe season 2 champion as well, but we'll never find out. But he's season 3 champion and a win at Bathurst, and that just doesn't get anything better than that. And Jason, with a really solid drive in second there, really early on battle with Cart Dude, and we'll find out what happened there in the comments afterwards. But Ned, with a really solid drive in third, coming from Tier 2 to Tier 1. That's just an absolute great drive from Ned. So congratulations to the top 3, and I do believe, Trev, that the top 3 are... we've got 2 of the top 3 in the room. Now we've got the 3 of the top 3 in the room.
Well, I think we might be just waiting. Well, there we go. Speak of the devil, and, well, he's appeared. Jason Wilkinson, we've got our 1, 2, and 3. Our top 3 are in the chat, the party chat. Get your questions in on the live stream, but I'd like to go to you, Formula One Rocks. Jono, congratulations. We've had this conversation a few times this year. You've made it 7, the magnificent 7, my friend. You've taken that elusive win at Bathurst. Talk us through your race, mate. Was it lonely out there at the front?
Thanks, fellas. A little bit, but it's always fun just doing laps of this track. It's a really good track to work on your driving, so I love it. Well done to Jace. He's a legend. Good on you, Ned. Good on everyone for the season. Cheers for the racing, boys.
It's been a fantastic effort from you this season, mate. 7 wins and the championship as well to boot. Where do you go from here, mate? I guess you'll be looking to go back-to-back next season in Season 4.
Yeah, mate, we'll have a go. It's good fun. That's all it's about.
Yeah, it sure is, mate. Well, congratulations, and been a fantastic season. 7 wins, like we mentioned, mate, and you have been the star performer here in this championship, mate, and all the best. Congratulations again, and all the best for next season, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
All right, so Jace, don't call us. We'll call you. Oh, he's taking over now. We call him Bernie.
No, I just sent you the championship results thanks to Brody. So
all right. Boy, these Tasmanians all over it super fast. We'll go through those results in the final part of this race. Well, he's the quickest driver and the most scariest, but thank you, Jono. And now we go across to a man talking about good seasons, Jason Wilkinson, P2. Oh, bloody hell, what do we got? That's your second P2 finish. And how about a win as well to go with that? And 3 third places, mate. And second in the championship, second tonight, second in the championship. Third?
No, Brody had me last week.
Oh boy! I tell you what. Anyway, third in the championship. Well, we'll take a podium finish, mate. Talk us through your season, mate.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. I don't really know what else to say. That race there was intense. I made a boo-boo and had a big moment coming into the pits. And I hit my pit limiter twice, which turns it on, then turns it off. And then I went to about 65 or 70 k's an hour, slammed on the brakes, too late. Got a 10-second penalty, so I had to push like buggery to stay in front of Ned, which I just did in the end. So, yeah, pretty eventful. Had a good battle with Brody. He was all over me. I had a bit of a wheel glitch, so I was a bit slower than I wanted to be. So, good battle with him, though. And, yeah, well done, Jono. Went on Ned. And your Tier 2 victory, and then getting P3 in Tier 1. Well done.
Yes, congratulations, Jace. A fantastic season, and big thank you to yourself too, mate. I know we we love the banter and we love joking around, Rob, but we couldn't have done it, mate, without the I don't know what you call it, Rob, but the incredible amount of information that is given to us
tonight.
to make us look.
Yet?
Well, I'm nearly there. I think we put it out. I think we put it out for publishing in the coming week or so. But no, in all seriousness, mate, thank you. You've had a great season yourself, but it is fantastic to come on here. We have fun every Thursday night, and I'm sure we'll be having lots more fun in the coming seasons to come as well. But thank you for all your efforts this season, mate. And it's been an absolute pleasure calling the action, racing against you, and all the rest of it. So thank you, mate, for that.
Thank you very much. You too as well, doing an awesome job in commentary. Yeah, season 4 can't come soon enough. So thanks everyone watching and all the drivers. If you're watching now, cheers for participating.
Couldn't have said it better
Season
myself.
4.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Jace. And, fantastic stuff. I'll see you at the Grand Prix in a month or so's time. But now, for some frothies, I'll start saving up now. I might shout you one. But now, a man who I'm very, very nervous to talk to, because I take the piss out of him constantly so far this year, but plenty of respect for our next man who's in the party chat, and that is, of course, Ned. Ned, big hello to you, mate, and first of all, congratulations, mate, Tier 2 champion, and also a podium finish, mate, on your debut in Tier 1. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, g'day, gents. It's good to talk to you finally. No, that was great. That was a really good race, actually. The whole series has been really good. Saw the Porsche get taken out at Tier 1, which is a bit disappointing because it is a really quick car. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the legs around Bathurst like the other two Fords out in 1-2, but I knew it had a bit of pace over the Corvette. Was outbraking the Corvette quite well, so I had to back off from Kart Dude quite a bit, otherwise I would put myself into a bit of a predicament. But overall, season Tier 2 was great to get in there and have a run with all the guys. And yeah, thanks to Jace for the call up this week to have a bit of a wild card entry. But yeah, it was great racing. Excellent.
Fantastic stuff, mate. And who knows? Fantastic performance in Tier 2, like you mentioned. And it is a great pathway, isn't it? Tier 2, a great way to get the drivers into Tier 1. So congratulations, mate. You got the call up to come to Bathurst for the season finale, and you managed to get a podium, mate. Fantastic effort. And I reckon we might have a sneaking suspicion we might see you in Tier 1 next season, but we'll wait and see, mate. Congratulations on your performance tonight. So there we have it, Ned, who doesn't sound like Ned Flanders after all. We've finally had the voice reveal there, Rob. But, I reckon we're almost done here at Mount Panorama. I don't think I've got a voice left, or I certainly won't have tomorrow. But, I think we're just about over and out for this season, Rob. It's been incredible, mate. Your first as a full-time official commentator for SRL. You've had to put up with my, I don't know what you call it, my dad jokes, my silly bad accents, my bad voices. But, it's been a wild ride, mate. It's been great.
Yeah, no, it's been a bunch of good fun, and it's great to be commentating in such a very competitive league. And I've just got one thing to say to Ned, and that's Hodley Ho, neighbourino. But we've it's been a really, really enjoyable season to watch, and to commentate beside you, Trev. And it's just lots of good banter. I'll always look forward to a Thursday night because it's just a bunch of fun, lots of jokes, lots of laughter, and lots of slightly racial jokes to every country we visit. So we'll try and keep that up for next season, but let's see what happens for season 4.
Yep, I'm glad you said country. I was wondering where you were going with that one, but we might take a look at the final results in the Drivers' Championship before we head to the Constructors' Championship. Just recapping, I'll give you the top 10, and you can sort out the rest later for yourselves. But Formula One rocks, our champion for season number 3, with 219 points ahead of Kart Dude, who went on holiday and missed another couple of rounds on 147. Jason slotting into P3, our man in P3.
You.
Truss in P4, who didn't have a great night tonight, but a good season overall. Waffles and Bits in 5th. Sub GT in P6 in the championship. Fubbles in P7. V8 man, 53 points for him in P8. Grace won't be too happy with that. And HSV and Mighty Murph together as per usual in 9th and 10th. Righty in 11th. I will bloody go through them all. Bugger it. 12th, it's Smokey. Ooh. All right, next. 13th is Andy Holden. 14th is Nige Guns. 15th is Womp. Great cameraman. I love you, Womp. Mickey, not so fine down there in 16th, but we love your work. And Nemo rounding out the points-paying positions in the Drivers' Championship in the final P17 in the championship. And heading across to the Constructors' side of things, it is Shake and Bake Racing taking the Constructors' Championship for season number 3 on 272 points. ahead of Sodi Motorsport on 237. And then P3 for Jason and Righty for Team Victoria Better. Smokey, anyway, enough about Smokey. Waffles and Andy
HSV, all that, yep.
in P5. HSV and Murph. Oh boy, just get married now, fellas, and find a room together for Mist Engineering. 93 points ahead of Fubbles and Nige Guns on 91. And then it is Womp and Mick on 9 points. For Full Customs Motorsports, they are the full championship results, and we are almost done here after a marathon effort tonight. And it'll be, yes, very interesting to see. We're coming back again to do it for Season 4, the commentary that is, and we'll just have details about that on the Supreme Racing League website, all the w's.supremeracingleague.com, so keep an eye out for details, Wilco. They'll be up there in the coming weeks and months. But thank you to everybody for your support throughout the season, and any final comments from you guys before we wrap it up?
Yeah, so if all goes to plan over the next fortnight, so every second Thursday from now, we're probably going to be doing like a little stream of just like a fun practice race, testing out different cars and tracks. So all you guys watching, you want to have a little go and have a look, you can do that. It's nothing's really official yet, but yeah, so catch you in 2 weeks.
That's right, we're not going anywhere. That's for sure. So don't forget, each Thursday night we had a bit of a fun stream at Daytona for the race there. So we will be on air. We're not going anywhere, but we will be back too for Season 4. Like we mentioned, it has been great to have your company right throughout the 11 rounds of this season, from Imola on the 15th of November right through to Bathurst here tonight. It's been great to have your company. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next season. Bye for now.